I'm a big believer, okay? And I feel sometimes God works in a very, very mysterious way, and things just happen. I remember like the first month we found this place, my aunt had a branding agency. She helped us with the name.
Okay.
And the name Nali comes from Nada and Liza. We are two very strong-minded women. We both have our own very strong personalities. We clashed a lot in the beginning. We were getting to know each other, and at the same time, we were learning about the business where she knew about the beauty, but maybe she wasn't very business oriented. I had no idea about the beauty. I had a bit of business background. So yes, it was challenging, but after a few years, after a lot of experiences, a lot of mistakes, failures, we saw that no, we complete each other.
Right.
We have one aim, is that Nali Spa has to be the best spa.
Boom! What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living in West Africa. And if you want to know why somebody would start a luxury spa in Sierra Leone, then this is the video for you. All right, cool. So today we're meeting with Nada, and she's gonna tell us the history of the business, who their customers are, the difficulty starting a business in Sierra Leone, how they retain talent, everything pertaining to how they built this business to be a 10-year-long business in Sierra Leone. So let's check it out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American here in West Africa. I'm in Sierra Leone right now, and I'm at a place called Nali Spa, and I'm here with Nada Mackie.
Hi Joe, welcome to Freetown.
Thank you.
And welcome to Nali Spa.
Thank you, thank you. We met at the Power Women Conference. What was it called? Power 232.
232. I always get the.
Yes, Power Women 232. They had a conference last week. I was an MC for the event, and I was asked to help introduce the next panel. I walked into the beauty panel, which was not normally the panel I would join. But the stories I heard were really interesting and inspiring, so I thought, why not have you come on the channel and speak to your story and talk about the spa? I also came here and I was really, really pleasantly surprised by how nice it looks. And so I'm looking forward to talking to you about your story. So let's get right into it. So Nada, first and foremost, where's your family from?
I was born in Senegal.
Yeah.
Because this is where my mother grew up. Her family, her grandfather was born there. Her dad was born there. So when she was pregnant with me, I'm the eldest of 3 kids.
Okay.
So she went to her parents to have me. So I was just born in Senegal, but my parents were living in Nigeria, in Lagos. This is where I grew up for 18 years of my life.
Okay.
I went to school there. My brothers grew up there with me. My dad owns a business there. My dad moved to Africa when he was 6 years old with his father.
Okay.
And he started working at a very, very young age. And I'm very proud of him because he's a very successful businessman. And from nothing, he taught himself. He was self-taught. And he built something very big in Lagos, and he's very proud of it. We're proud of him. So this is where I grew up.
Okay, and where's your father originally from?
My dad was from the south of Lebanon.
Okay.
So he's from the south of Lebanon. My mom, her roots were in Africa. They met in Senegal, Dakar. They got married. She moved with him to Lagos. Yeah. And this is where we lived.
Got it. Okay. So how did you end up here in Sierra Leone?
Love. Brought me to Sierra Leone.
Okay.
My husband, Hisham, was born in Freetown.
Okay.
He's a 3rd generation Sierra Leonean.
Okay.
His grandfather came here. His dad was born here. They used to live in Kono, not even in Freetown. They were at Kono. This is where their family business was there. And I met him during a summer holiday in Lebanon. And I guess I fell in love and moved to Freetown. And I've been here for 27 years.
27 years.
27 years. So
Okay.
I can say that I'm a proud African.
Sure.
And now I'm a proud Sierra Leonean because I've lived here and my kids were brought up here. They went to school at an older age,
Okay.
higher education, university, but they always came back to Sierra Leone. This is what they call the homeland,
Sure.
the motherland.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those of you trying to do the math, I am too. You said you lived in Nigeria until you were 18, right?
Yes.
And you've been here 27 years. I don't know how that's possible. You're gonna have to teach people your beauty secrets. And how do you stay looking young?
Well, honestly, I never thought I would be someone that is going to be working in the beauty industry.
Sure.
So that's another journey that I'm going to tell you about.
Sure.
I'm not really somebody that's really into the beauty and all these things. I was more into the business,
Right.
managing. This was what I liked to do. Liza, who is my partner at the spa, we were once sitting, me and her, in a spa actually 10 years ago and doing our nails, and she reminded me that it was my idea. I don't know how I had this idea, but she said, if we open something where a client can just come in, have a place where they can do the nails, the hair, have a massage, take care of their beauty. And it was just two girls having their nails done, daydreaming.
Sure.
With a lot of what if. And I recall very well, that same evening, she calls me and she's like, why don't we do this? So Liza as well is a third generation Sierra Leone. And actually, she's very proud that in 4 years, her family would have been in Sierra Leone for 100 years.
Wow.
So she's a pure Sierra Leonean. She's more Sierra Leonean than I am. And both our families, were very supportive of the idea. She knew about the beauty. She was more in touch because it's her interest. She's always like into nails, into hair, into what can we do to bring more products. And this is how it all started. And what I would like to say, I'm a big believer, okay? And I feel sometimes God works in a very, very mysterious way, and things just happen. I remember like the first month we found this place, my aunt had a branding agency, she helped us with the name, and the name Nali comes from Nada and Liza. This is how the name comes. When we were doing our tour, what I would like to mention is like, we chose green because it reflects Africa. And when we're doing our tour, Joe, you notice we have a lot of green.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, the green cushion, the touches of green, because we wanted it to reflect, we wanted the spa to reflect Africa. And we're very, 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 very proud of our Africans.
Okay, so you mentioned Lisa, it's your partner. Can you talk about the partnership, how you guys came together with this business and what it means to you today?
Definitely today we are both super proud of where we are now.
Sure.
When we first started, Liza and I, we had a lot of challenges.
Okay.
One of the biggest challenges was the partnership.
Okay.
We were family friends.
Okay.
Her family, my husband's family, because they were from here, they knew each other. And yes, we were sitting and we came up, both of us, with this idea and we had to set it up. But to actually have this partnership, that was very difficult.
Sure.
It was like a marriage, you can date someone for so long, and when you get married and live in the same house, you see things you've never seen. And that was the same thing with me and her. We are two very strong-minded women. We both have our own very strong personalities. We clashed a lot in the beginning. We were getting to know each other, and at the same time, we were learning about the business where she knew about the beauty, but maybe she wasn't very business oriented. I had no idea about the beauty. I had a bit of business background because I've worked in different fields before, and I've learned a lot from my husband throughout the years. So yes, it was challenging, but after a few years, after a lot of experiences, a lot of mistakes, failures, we saw that no, we complete each other.
Right.
She is very good in social media.
Okay.
And I'm proud to say, in Freetown, if we are not the best, but one of the best social media platforms. We have people calling us and calling Liza to ask her, please, can you advertise this for us? Can you boost our page? Can you help us, promote something? We've worked so hard on our social media, and nowadays, if you don't have a good social media, it doesn't really help the business. So she is woman behind this.
Yes.
And I'm the one who manages the spa.
Okay.
I'm the one who does the accounting, I'm the one who has to bring the goods. She's the one who basically always tells me, Nada, there's this new product that's out, we need to get it. Nada, there's this that's out, we need to get it. So she's very, very out there, always like looking what's out there,
Sure.
what we need to bring. And with time, we learned how to work together.
Sure.
As I say, it was like a marriage. We do like, she understood me, I understood her, we learned about each other. She knows, like, Nada doesn't like this, so I'm gonna do this.
Right.
I know what she likes and what she doesn't like. So with the years, we learned how to complete each other. And when we became strong together, this is where the business grew. All the challenges we had, we were together, it was one hand. We have one aim, is that Nali Spa has to be the best spa.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. And so that's an awesome story, and you two, you do definitely complement each other.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of like a CEO COO relationship. She's like the CEO, you're like the COO, but you're also like the public face too. I noticed.
Because she doesn't like to do public speaking.
Okay.
When you approach me,
Yeah.
as I was going to travel, and I asked Liza, would you come and do this? She's like, don't put me on that spot. You make sure you do it before you travel.
Okay, there you go.
So she pushes me to that.
Sure.
She knows maybe I can do it.
Yeah.
We push each other a lot. I know what are her potentials. She knows what.
Sure.
So we push each other a lot in the business.
Absolutely. Okay, and so on that note, I mean, you just celebrated an anniversary. How many years have you been? 10 years.
10 years.
10 years in
Very,
business.
very, very. In the beginning, when we started, it was very, very hard for because people saw us as these two white women.
Right.
I don't like to describe the person, the color of their skin, because that's not the way we were up.
Right.
This is how people saw us. And I'm not only talking about the Sierra Leoneans, this is everybody here. And the mentality here, people don't like something new. They're a bit scared of what they don't know. So it was a very big challenge for us to get people used to, why don't you come to a spa and have all your treatments done?
Sure.
Before, we used to bring someone home
Right.
to do our hair, our nails. We used to bring our own products because we couldn't find anything.
Right.
But bit by bit, and it was not something that was done in a year. It took us maybe 3 to 4 years
Okay.
for people to oh, no, this is a really nice place. You can come, relax, forget about all our problems, and at the same time, which is very important, it was an affordable place.
Yes.
Because when they come in and they say, oh wow, this is such a nice place, this must be so expensive. No, we worked super hard on our pricing, and we are not here for one type of clientele. We want everyone to come. And we always have student discounts.
Okay.
We have a lot of student discounts. We always do promotions. Even if we have people that they want to come in and they really want to do their hair and they think because maybe they can't really afford it, we always, we will do your hair. We will make a price for you. It's fine.
Nice, I like that. And so you, as you mentioned, you've been in business 10 years. Obviously, you've had to have support and help along the way. Who were some of your biggest supporters or people that give you business advice along the way to get to this point?
So definitely, both our families were a great support.
Sure.
For me, my biggest support is my husband.
Yes.
And he supported Liza and I from the beginning.
Sure.
When we needed advice, he was always there. He too is a very successful businessman, so it's only normal that we always go back for advice. And he's been a very strong supporter, and very, very lucky to have him in my life. He even is like a big brother to Liza.
Okay.
As her dad, who is a supporter as well, is a father figure for us, but we don't like to bother him because we have more problems. So we go to Hisham, my husband, for all of our issues. So yes, I think we were very lucky from the beginning that we had a very strong support system. Both of us, her family, my husband, our children.
Nice. So we talked a lot about the background of Nali Spa and your background and Lisa's background and your support. I'd love to talk about the core tenets to this business. Like, what all do you do here at Nali Spa?
So we cater everything that has to do with beauty for men and women.
Okay.
And lately, a lot of men, it's a new trend now, a lot of men like to take care of themselves.
Sure.
We have a lot of men, they come for their nails, for their facials. We've mentioned the waxing as well.
Sure.
They like to come for massages, for to relax. So our core business, what we're very proud of is the nail section. We have amazing therapists. From the beginning, when we opened the spa, we've had therapists from all over, from Sierra Leone and all over parts of Africa that worked here. They all come on a contract base.
Sure.
They do their contracts, some of them leave, some of them decide to renew the contracts, they want to stay here with us, they're happy. So the nail is one of the main core businesses of Nali Spa. And then it's the hair. In the beginning when we started, both of us were not we didn't really know about the hair, especially the different types of hair here in Sierra Leone. But with time, we grew our business. The hair section grew a lot, and now we can really cater for anybody. And different types of hair.
Yeah.
And we also do men grooming.
Okay.
Men grooming as well. And then the massage. The massage, we have ladies from Bali, Indonesia, and the best masseuses are from there. The massage is very popular here in Ghana. So this year we did 2 collaborations.
Okay.
One was with Elite Beauty Spa, which is owned by a sister and friend.
Okay.
Her name is Nada Fawaz, who is as well a 3rd generation Sierra Leonean.
Okay.
I think she's more Sierra Leone than Liza and I put together. She's so proud of her roots. She's somebody who was born and raised in Bo.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And she always had a passion for the face, everything that has to do with the face. So this year we did a collaboration with her, and we opened a room for her here. We brought machines and products, and we have full-time facial. Our second collaboration was done with a lady who is from Lebanon. She lived in Lebanon and she married someone who lived here, so she came here. And it's called Stroke by Lina. And everything that has to do with eyebrows, your eyelashes, and your makeup is done by her. And we've just done this. This was a very new collaboration, and really like, since she's been with us, it has grown in very short. She's done very well.
Nice. And so you kind of touched on this a bit, but like, who was your core clientele? What would you say your clientele is?
We don't have a typical clientele.
Okay.
Definitely, my biggest clientele are the Sierra Leoneans.
Sure.
Which I'm very proud that they trust us.
Sure.
And they come here
to
have all their beauty done. We have a lot of international clients, a lot of people from different embassies, different businesses. We have a big Lebanese clientele.
Sure.
So we don't really have the typical, everybody's a client. But what we're proud of is most of the people that started 10 years ago coming to us are still out. Yes, they do go maybe occasionally when something new has opened, they do go, they try, but they come back. So I guess this shows that, Liza and I have been doing a great job.
All right, excellent. So we've talked about a lot, and so many people ask me questions about businesses here, what it's like to open a business here. Can you talk about some of the challenges that you've had building Nali Spa in a 10-year-long business with loyal customers? I'd love to hear from you firsthand. What have some of the challenges been growing this business?
One of our biggest challenges is not only for us in Nali Spa, but most of the businesses here is to find the right products, the right goods. We don't find everything here. And with everything that's been going on in the world, we have it's an economic crisis everywhere. We just came out from the coronavirus. So to find the goods at an affordable prices, because the competition is growing in Freetown.
Sure.
So we need to have a certain type of pricing. We cannot go above that.
Right.
We need to really work very hard on our pricing. So this is a very big challenge for us, is to get good distribution. Now there's a lot of new little businesses that have been opening, and we are starting to see that we can actually buy locally. So now we're trying, for example, the massage oils that we use, I don't need to import them anymore. I'm starting to find businesses here that produce them.
Sure.
So we are trying to work with the scrubs as well. We use a lot of body scrubs, hand scrub, foot scrub, and these as well, we're starting to find them.
Sure.
They are locally made, and standard-wise, they are the same standards as anything that we would make. So one of the biggest challenges is to find the products. And another challenge is to find staff. It's very, very hard. 10 years ago, the beauty industry was not something very popular here in Sierra Leone.
So,
Now, more and more, yes, we can find local therapists. And I just want to mention that you have a lot of talented therapists here.
it's good to hear.
They are, and most of them are self-taught. And we've had before a therapist, he was a nail technician. And I can say, honestly, he didn't have any degree. He was self-taught from a very young age. He taught himself on YouTube. He worked for a short period of time here. And really, to see someone with such talent in your country is amazing. And I can say that he is as good or not even better than any therapist that have a degree.
Wow. So you touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to kind of go back to this. You know, a ton of people like to ask this question about being a foreigner and starting a business here, and what that's like, and what are some of those challenges. So you talked about some of the economic, environmental challenges, right, and geopolitical issues that are happening that are causing challenges with importing, etc. What would you say some of the challenges are as a perceived foreigner? Because obviously, one of your partners actually Sierra Leone, right? And you spent a lot of time here. You're married to Sierra Leone, but you mentioned that there were some challenges in the beginning. What are some of those challenges as a perceived foreigner?
Well, I don't really see myself as a foreigner. Like I told you, I grew up in Africa,
Sure.
Lebanon for me, I don't deny, I am Lebanese, yes. But Lebanon for us was always a place where we go for holiday.
Yeah.
So I always saw myself as, and yes, with time I saw myself as Leone.
Right.
Maybe other people didn't see me as that, but with time, when they got to know us, to know where we came from and how we built our business, they started seeing us, no, this is a Sierra Leonean business. We are not a Lebanese. We are a Sierra Leonean business, and we are proud.
Sure.
We are proud of our of being served. Yes, you have people that don't see us as that. We are separate. But that's a lot of people know they are proud of us. Our clients.
Sure. So you would say that the biggest way to overcome that objection is just to be inherently Sierra Leone.
Yes.
You mentioned we talked about this previously when we were doing the tour, but many of the products are made here in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
You've had, even if you've had stuff imported like the couches, they're reupholstered here, right?
We try as much as we can to use our business as much as we can to help other businesses.
Sure.
And at the same time, we give a lot back to the customer. We give a lot back.
Okay.
At least 2 to 3 times a year, we join forces with charity organizations, and we try to do something with them to raise money or raise awareness and to give back.
Nice. Awesome.
So this is very important for us. We always try to give back.
Okay, great. That's awesome. I didn't even think to ask you, but that's a really good point. Giving back, I think that's huge. And so for those of you obviously who are listening, right, who are thinking about starting a business here, all of those points are really important. I did want to ask you about retaining talent. So we talked a little bit about finding talent. How do you work with talent here? Retain talent. What are some of the challenges there? What works? What doesn't work? If you can just give a little bit of an overview of that.
Our clients, they expect so much of us,
Sure.
because we have a big name here. Nali Spa is very famous in Sierra Leone. People come here because we give the best. We're very proud of it. When you want to retain therapists, they need to have at least 5-year experience. So we do work with a lot of recruitment agencies in Sierra Leone and abroad. But the one requirement that they need to have is they need to have a lot of experience in the field. Because we have clients that they come here, they want to have the best.
So we've covered a lot, and I get this question all the time. But what advice would you give someone either here in Sierra Leone or who's moving to Sierra Leone who wants to start a business here? Just general business advice that you would give to them.
Definitely, there's a lot of things that connect with
Sure.
So if people really want to come to Sierra Leone and open a business, yes, it is the place.
Okay.
I personally believe Africa is the place at the moment now to open businesses.
Absolutely.
And it's evolving so fast. And there's a lot of demand for a lot of things. Here in Freetown, there's still lack of a lot of things.
Sure.
So to everyone out there that is thinking to coming and investing in Sierra Leone, yes, it's a great move.
Sure.
Freetown or Sierra Leone, let's say, is a very peaceful country. We've been here for so long. We're very happy. Our kids were both here. Our family have been having businesses here for a very long time.
Sure.
We don't even think of going back to Lebanon to open businesses. This is really home. People are very welcoming. The Sierra Leoneans are amazing people.
Sure.
We have a lot of clients that are Sierra Leonean that we call family now.
Sure.
Where we're very happy there. The support we've had throughout the years from our Sierra Leonean clients is amazing. For most of our clients, everyone. So yes, it is a place to come and open a business. It is. It's very encouraging. It's booming. Yes, at the moment there is an economic crisis. This is everywhere.
Sure.
But there's a lot of demand. So if someone wants to come and open, yes, do come.
Any pitfalls or challenges that might occur for them?
Like any business.
Okay. So nothing. You don't think anything specific to Sierra Leone?
No, not anything specific. Like any business everywhere in the world.
Sure.
To start is difficult. We've had our challenges. We've spoken about them.
Right.
This was in the beauty industry. I don't know the other industries how it is.
Sure.
But I think it's not only because of Sierra Leone. It's anywhere in the world. When you start, it's hard in the beginning.
Sure.
But I think with the right mindset, the right support system, if you have a partner, the right partner,
Sure.
I think yes, you can make it. You can make it.
Anything that I didn't ask you that you want to mention?
Yes, if you are coming to visit Freetown this Christmas, make sure that you visit Nali Spa. We're waiting for you to pamper you, take care of your hair, your nails, your massages. We are located at 129C Wilkinson Road. It's the heart of Wilkinson Road where we are. You can even follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we're waiting for you.
Awesome. So all of that will be in the description below. So you'll have the address to the location, the phone number to the front desk. I will also share with you all the social media platforms that they're on, so you can see all the work that Liza is doing.
And just wanted to mention one thing. If you want to buy Christmas gift, don't forget to follow Sparkles, and you can find our jewelry at Nada.
Nice. All of that will be in the description below. So Nada, thank you once again for doing this.
Thank you so much, for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
And really, it's the first time I've done something like this.
You did an excellent
very
job.
happy, and I'm really happy I did it with you.
Okay.
Okay, and I hope to see you very soon at the spa.
Well, I need a massage, so I'm definitely coming to get my massage. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, make sure you give us a comment, thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Many of you watch and you don't subscribe, so make sure you subscribe. And come out and check out Nali Spa for sure when you come to Sierra Leone. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys all on the next video. Bye, guys. Alright guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share it with your friends. Alright, see you on the next video.